All right, guys, so we are working on kettlebell workout number 1 today. And so, as we've been doing, I'm going to have you set a 45-minute clock, and that will plan out your entire 45-minute long workout down to the minute. So, we're going from 0 to 8. We have a nice little 8-minute AMRAP warm-up, and in that warm-up, we have several things here to get your shoulders and your hip hinging, ready to go. So thing number 1 that we're going to be doing is an empty hand windmill. So obviously not using the kettlebell here. If you guys remember, that's pointing the toes opposite, hands straight up in the air, and we're rotating around this arm as you drop down. So you think about rotating around that axis, drop your hand down as much as you can, shoot your hips the opposite direction, stand back up. All right. So I want you to just get about 5 of those per side. Following that, push-ups with the opposite toe touch. So once again, this is one of those things we do very often in class. You should be very familiar with it. Dropping down, touch the chest, and you're going to reach back, touch your opposite toe. That's 1. Reach back, touch your other toe. That's 2. I'm going to have you do 5 of those on each side. Next one is going to be our prone snow angel. So we're going to be on the ground again. And this is to get the rotator cuff muscles warmed up here. So just laying face down, lift the arms, and nice and slow movements. We're going to have you touch your thumbs together behind your back, touch your thumbs together over your head. All right, so again, let's just get about 5 of those. Following that, some empty hand, single leg crossbody RDLs. So getting the hamstring, getting the glutes warm here. Opposite hand's going to reach across, touch your toe, standing back up. Remember, as we're doing this, trying to get this leg to come up at the same rate your chest falls down to the ground. And we want to keep our back nice and straight as we do that. Next up is going to be a single arm Russian kettlebell swing. And this is priming us for those kettlebell snatches that we're going to be doing later on in the workout. So with the single arm swing, remember we're going thumb back on the back swing, thumb up as you swing it out, soft elbow at the top. I'm going to have you do 5 of those on each hand. Following that, we have our kettlebell snatches, and that's just to get your body moving through the range of motion. Not going to have you do too many. We'll go 3 each arm here, and just practicing on getting that motion feeling really smooth. We want to grease the groove before we get going in the workout. All right? So you're going to run through that for 8 minutes, as many times as you can. And then following your 8-minute window, we're going to have a little 2-minute rest break from 8 to 10. And then at the 10-minute mark, we're going to do our kettlebell snatch EMOM. And this is just like we do when we're doing our linear progression. You're going to be doing one hand on 1 minute, the other hand the following minute. If you notice up here, we have 10 to 16 kettlebell snatches in the minute. And the reason I have that range there is because I understand that some of you guys did not get to pick the exact kettlebell that is going to suit you for this particular thing. So for some of you, it might be on the heavier side for this EMOM. For some of you, it might be on the lighter side. If it's on the heavier side, go for the lower rep range. If it's on the lighter side, you're going to go for the higher rep range of 16 or somewhere in between. All right, so again, kettlebell snatches, you should have just done a few in the warm-up. It should feel nice and smooth. Thumb back, bend the elbow through the middle, punch it through, meet the kettlebell at the top. Depending on how many you're doing, you should have 20 to 30 seconds of rest every minute. Following our 10-minute kettlebell EMOM, we're going to have another little break there just to kind of rest and prep yourself before the timed workout starts. So at the 25-minute mark, you're going to start your 3-round workout. And this is loosely based on the Fight Gone Bad workout. It's not a time-oriented workout, but this one's more task-oriented. And there's no rest in it like you would find in Fight Gone Bad. We have 5 movements, 22 reps of each, and you're going to have a 15-minute time cap, which leaves you 5 minutes to get each round done if you want to finish it. So, movement number 1, we have 22 kettlebell sumo deadlift high pulls. And for that, you're gonna start with the kettlebell right between your feet, set slightly back. Okay, we're gonna bend down, get a good hinge at the hips. Back's gonna be nice and straight, and we're gonna deadlift it up. And then as we get the kettlebell about knee height, you're gonna extend your hips fast, pull your elbows high, and then set that kettlebell back down on the ground. Again, slightly back so that you have some forward momentum lifting it up off the ground. As far as the range of motion goes, we're going from the ground up to hands at the collarbone, right? Elbows stay high above the kettlebell at the top. So we got 22 reps here. Following that, we have 22 box jumps. I put them in quotation marks because I understand not everybody has a box, but most people have at least a chair, maybe a bench or a half wall or something you can use. I don't want these to be too high of box jumps. It should be something that's very manageable for you. If you are using something like a chair, then I'm going to recommend you don't actually jump on it and instead substitute some step-ups. All right, so let's go over the box jumps. The box jumps, as always, we want to jump up 2 feet, land at the top in a good athletic stance, stand all the way up, and then step back down. If you're doing step-ups, I'm going to have you alternate legs, again standing up at the top, switch legs each rep, 22 there. And if you want that to be a little more challenging and you're comfortable, go ahead and grab your kettlebell and you can do some weighted step-ups. Next thing on the list, single arm kettlebell press. So, depending on your weight, you can do single arm kettlebell strict press if the weight is fairly light for you, or if it's on the heavier side, you can do kettlebell push press and get the legs involved. Either way, we want to start in a good rack position. So a good kettlebell firm rack is going to have your hand right next to your face, thumb about at your collarbone, elbow down to your side, with good contact here between your ribs and your upper arm. All right, so it's 22 reps. That's going to be 11 on one side. Following that, 11 on the other side. Next movement, 22 goblet squats. So that's something we all know how to do pretty well. It's up to you how you hold the kettlebell. You can either grab it by the handles or flip it upside down and hold it by the bell part. So when we're doing our squats, as always, we're looking for full range of motion. So hips below the knees and full extension at the top. And then finally, 22 V-ups. So the V-ups, what we're looking for here is a good gymnastic style V-up where we're trying to maintain a hollow position at the bottom and you're throwing your arms up and legs meet at the top. So from here, boom, coming up, touch the toes. If you're not quite able to get the toes on this, it's not the end of the world. What I don't want to see is you relaxing at the bottom, throwing everything up, and then relaxing again. Work on maintaining a good hollow position down there at the bottom of each rep. So, run through 3 rounds of that. Again, you have a 15-minute time cap. Once you're done with this, I want you to spend at least 5 minutes stretching out. So, I hope you guys have fun with this one. Let me know how it goes. Put your score in the scoreboard if you can.